Hey everyone, I'm Josh from the Orange County Library. Today you're going to be attending a Cuisine Corner class, Cuisine Corner Instant Pot Vietnamese. It's with one of our favorite chefs, Ha Rhoda. She's from Pho Queen Cooking, so definitely check her out on Facebook and everything like that. She cooks a lot of great things, comes to the library pretty often with us, and makes some really great food. So without any further ado, here is Ha Rhoda and the team. How you doing, Ha?
Hi, how are you? So should we go ahead and start?
Yeah, I'm ready as ever.
Okay, I'm excited. This is our first time doing this. So first of all, we're going to make a Vietnamese word for Chao Gà, which means chicken, I guess chicken rice soup. So one thing that I'm going to do right now, we're going to have a whole hour to work on this with you. So we're going to show the first few stuff that we're going to be doing through video, because I couldn't fit everything in with the camera to the sink and all that stuff. So Josh is going to help us putting in some stuff at the beginning, and then we'll start cooking right after that, okay? So first we're going to prep the rice. We get 1 cup of rice. Can you see 1 cup of rice right here? Cup right here. It's one of this cup right here. Yep, there's a picture of that. And that's a cup from when you buy the rice cooker that comes with that cup. All right, and then what I do is I pour into a little bowl, and then I wash the rice. So Josh is going to start that. And what we do is the purpose of this is to rinse out any kind of like the white, what do you call that? The white part of it. I forgot the word for it. Well, anyway, it rinses out, and then we clear it and make sure it's nice and clear. And once it's clear, then we're gonna start working with it. And as you can see, it is very the water's not clear yet, so I have to wash it several times. And then once it's clear, then we put it into a pot. You can use the Instant Pot, or you could use a frying pan, anything that you do. And add a little bit of an oil first beforehand, so it won't stick to the pan. And then I just add that, and then I just stir fry. Now with Instant Pot, there is a button called Saute. So you push Saute on the button, right? If you can see that right there, push Saute. And it's on a normal, so you mix it up. You can use a spoon. You can use, see, it's on. So make sure. So if you push plus or negative, plus or minus, that is actually going to be increasing the time, 29 minutes, 30 minutes. But if you push saute once more, twice, it'll go to high, and then another, it'll go to low and medium. So you just want to make sure it's on the medium or low, so it won't burn the rice. And then you mix them up until the rice is nice and dry. The reason we do this with the rice to cook it is it gives you this kind of subtle nutty flavor to the rice when you cook it. And it's very subtle. You may not notice it if you've eaten it all the time, but if you had it the first time, you'll notice a little rice nutty flavor when you do that. But if you don't do that, that's fine too. Now, do this in the Instant Pot, or you can do it in on a pan fry, a frying pan as well. Okay, so when you finish, you remove that and you put it into a bowl. And right now, what I'm doing is I'm boiling the water, making sure the water is boiling. So when it's boiling, I'm going to actually cook, I'm going to dip in my chicken, okay? So see the chicken that I have right here? So my water is about to boil. And same thing with the water. I put it onto saute, and in this particular thing I did with the saute, I turn off, I make it on high instead of medium, so the water will boil fast. Oh, and I forgot to mention this right here. While we're waiting for the water to boil, you can use only 4 ingredients to make this dish. But the more ingredients that you use for this, of course, the taste better. So the 4 ingredients, the main 4 primary ingredients is chicken, rice, water, and salt. Those are the 4 primary ingredients, right? So in this, I'm going to add a little here and there, but all those things should be in your pantry. You should be able to have chicken on hand most of the time, I'm sure. And then probably rice, you know, that's easy to find. It's not hard to find with rice. The rice I use is jasmine rice, but you can use any rice. Brown rice may be a little bit different to cook, but that is, I don't have the instructions for that. But the jasmine rice and white rice are the same, because the brown rice is a little harder to cook. But I think with the pressure cooker, I think you'll be okay. The pressure cooker will help the brown rice as well. Okay, so now my water is starting to boil. Okay, the reason why I want the water to boil, and then this one I'm not going to cook the chicken just yet, right? All I want to do is just to clean the chicken to make sure, you know, you have, sometimes when you eat some broth and some soup, you smell and it smells bad. You know, it has a foul smell. So this helps clean up when the water's boiling, and you just clean out that smelly kind of flavor and smell, and you clean that out with hot water. So the water's pretty hot, and then I just put that in, and then I take out the chicken. I just put it in for 30 seconds to give it some time to clean out all the bad stuff, the smell and the odor, okay? And then what I do is I take it out of the Instant Pot. So I'm gonna be out of the camera for a moment because I have to bring it to the sink to drain out the water, okay? So I'll be right back. So I'm gonna drain this water out, and then I clean the chicken, you know, make sure it's nice and clean by washing it a little bit. Okay, so I drained it. Now I put the chicken back in. So the next thing I do, so don't worry, I have a recipe that I will give it to you guys. You'll have it available. I'm gonna turn off my Instant Pot for now. I click cancel, okay, because it's pretty hot. So for me to prepare, what I want to do is next I'm gonna add water to this, okay? So with this is 2 chicken breasts from 1 to 2 pounds. This is good for 4 people, for my family of 4. So what I do is I'm going to add water. You have a choice, okay? If you have chicken stock, that will give it even more flavor. So I have some leftover chicken stock. So I'm gonna just use whatever I have, and a total of 6 cups. So I'm gonna just dump this. This is about almost a cup of chicken broth. So I have 2 types of chicken broth. As you can see, it's from my kitchen leftovers. You know, and if you don't have chicken broth, that's fine too. Just use water. Okay, and then I have the other chicken broth, which we have this here. So I have 2 types. So whatever you have left over on chicken broth, you're fine. Okay, so I add that. That's 1. 2. 3. I'm gonna use it all. Okay, 3.5. So now I'm gonna start adding water. Okay, I don't have to. You can use all chicken broth, all water, part water, or whatever you have in hand. So that's and 6. Okay, so it covers the whole chicken. All the chicken is being covered. So as you can see right here, the water is submerged in the water, okay? And then I'm gonna close my lid. Okay, I'm doing it backwards, so I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Can't even close my arm. Ah! Struggling. Almost done. There you go. I turn it this way and make sure. I don't know if you can see the knob. See, there's this knob right here. Make sure the knob is turned all the way closed, because that's the vent that is going to come out. And it's going to spray all over the place, and you don't want it to be open. You want it to be closed, okay, your vent. And then I'm putting on to turn on pressure cook, and I turn for 2 pounds of chicken, 1 to 2 pounds, I put for 7 minutes. So I set my timer for 7 minutes. And I let it go. I don't know if you can see it because the camera is pointing to, see right there? I don't want to flip it upside down. Okay, you can hear the beeping. That means it's working on the pressurizing the pot. And it takes about a few minutes for the pressure to, for the pot to pressurize. And then it's going to start for 7 minutes. So while that's going, I'm going to share with you the method that you would do on the stove. Okay, so on the stove, you would do the same similar thing. You will boil the water, okay, and then you put the chicken in, and then you rinse the chicken out, and then drain the water. You don't want that because it's very smelly at the beginning. It needs to be clean. And then after that, when you drain, once again, you put into the pan 6 cups of water, and then you let it boil. You let it cook, and you let it cook about 30 to 40 minutes so that the meat will tenderize and the meat will extract the juice. That's why you make your broth. Same thing you would do with the chicken broth or the water, okay? Whatever you have on stock, chicken stock or water or whatever. Water is the easiest, and that's what you use. But the more that you have of chicken, the flavor enhances it even more, okay? But I made it before without chicken stock, and I just make straight water, and it's still good. And so make sure you have like 1 to 2 pounds, maybe 2 or 2 pounds of chicken. The more chicken, the more sweetness from the chicken comes out. All right, so while it's going right now, when it's cooking, so one thing about the Instant Pot is cool is that it takes a fraction of the time. Right now, it takes only 10 minutes to do the chicken. Where you do on the stove, it will take you 30 to 40 minutes on the stove to let it boil and let to soak the water and stew the chicken to make the broth. Okay, so right now, while we're waiting for this, if you have any questions, go ahead and type in the comment lines real quick. Anything that I may left out, if we go too fast or if the pace is not, I'll try to do the faster if it's too slow. But let me know if you have any quick questions before we go to the next thing. I don't want to leave anybody behind. And Josh is actually going to monitor the questions, and he'll bring it to me, and he'll let me know.
So the first question we asked was about the ingredients, if you'd be posting them after or anything like that. The ingredients would be with the recipe sheet that you'll send after the class, correct?
Yes, and I'll have it on my website as well, so that you can go through on my website, and I'll post it on the comment line when I'm done.
Okay, great. That sounds great. We have another question about the use of brown rice versus jasmine rice. would you use different amounts of water for that, or would you use the same amount of water? Is it just a time thing? Have you?
I have an experiment. That's a great question. I have not experimented with brown rice as much, but it doesn't expand as much, I think, and it requires longer to cook. But I could be wrong. I have not experimented with the brown rice too much. So that is a good question to look into, and I'll look into that. If I have an answer, I will post that too.
Perfect. And Bianca was asking, she came a little bit late, but she was asking what you were making today.
Oh, I am making, a Vietnamese word is chao gà, or American word is chicken rice porridge. It's a chicken noodle soup version. Instead of chicken noodle, you substitute it with rice.
Yeah, that sounds great. We have another question: where you would buy jasmine rice? Do you have a favorite place? A place you can get the best deal?
At the Asian store versus online. The online is great; it's convenient. So there are a few places, and they price very similar to each other. So there is one on 50 and Mills and Colonial, right? There is one there on the corner. It's called I forgot the name.
Is that iFresh that you're?
No, not iFresh. iFresh is on 50. That's that's a newer location. Now I think that is not a Vietnamese grocery store. That's Korean or a different nationality, but they do have Asian produce, and they have rice too. I haven't checked the jasmine rice there. There is one down the street from that. There's the Three Buddha. It's called Phước Lộc Thọ, and that they sell rice too. So what I do is, I don't have a favorite place. I hop around. I hop here, hop there. Whenever they have something, then I go there. So the Phước Lộc Thọ, sometimes they have really good produce. Then I go and get there, and if I need rice, I'll pick up rice there. And they do have different jasmine stuff. And then the Tin Hưng. Tin Hưng is one on the corner of 50 and Colonial, right? 50 and Colonial is the same. 50 and Mills.
So, yeah.
Colonial Mills, 15 Mills. And that one's the corner there, and they have good, usually they have good deli stuff. Vietnamese desserts deli. So I go there for that.
Check that out for sure.
Yeah. But a lot of them speak Vietnamese, so you kind of like, there are some younger kids, so they will talk English. They'll speak English to you. They'll help you. The Phước Lộc Thọ caters to Americans more because they'll have more speaking Vietnamese too. But I go both of them, and then on the days that I like to go further, then I go all the way down to 50 First Oriental Market from 50.
Okay.
They have a bigger selection. But
very cool.
all of them, be very careful when you get the rice, because sometimes if it sits in their store for a long time and has not been sold, they may have a tendency to have bugs. Just to have a heads up. As long as it keeps in a non-humid, dry place, then you're good. But buy a small bag at a time, 25 pounds. That's what I used to do.
Okay, great. Have a couple other questions here. Do you have any difference between bone broth and chicken stock? You just mentioned that you had used two different boxes, so they were just double checking that.
Oh yeah, I'm just using the same kind of chicken. They're both chicken broth. They're both the same. They're both chicken broth. This one is, you're right. This is bone broth. This is chicken. Mm-hmm. Good eye.
Yeah.
I don't have a preference. They both give me the same. It depends on your preference if you want to. So in this way, it's not a preference for me.
Okay, perfect. That sounds good. Do we have time for any more questions, or?
Yeah, well, go ahead, keep going because it's still going on the pressure cooker.
Okay, great.
I should have put a timer. Go ahead.
Oh, no worries. We had another question about using basmati rice versus the jasmine rice. Have you ever used that before?
No, my favorite is jasmine, so I haven't
Okay.
explored outside of jasmine.
Okay. But it probably would be pretty similar. Just
Yeah,
making sure it's cooked. As long as it's
yeah,
cooked, it's probably gonna it's rice, and it will just picking your favorite, whatever your favorite is probably the best one to use.
exactly, exactly. The flavor may be slightly different, or the texture may be different, but the end result, they're all going to be smushy. At the end, all the rice is expand out, so it's going to be just gooey and it breaks apart. So it's no
Gotcha.
longer, yeah. So while we're waiting, still going with the pressure cooking, but we're going to have to wait another thing too when it's actually making the jiao, which is the rice part. So
Perfect.
I'm gonna start talking about the ingredients so that we're prepared for that. Okay.
Perfect.
Um,
Yeah, and I'll keep an eye on the questions. So if anyone has any questions, continue typing them, and I'll make sure to have them for the next break
okay.
that we have. All
So
right.
do we
I
have
will
any
see
more
you.
questions that we missed, or?
We had one about the best way to cook Chinese broccoli. Have you ever used that before? And then, yeah, so that was the next question that we had.
Well, the Chinese broccoli we'll have to talk to a different,
That's a
a
separate
different
event.
time because I'm gonna lose my frame of my
That's a good call.
my rice frame and then the broccoli frame. But I've done it before.
Right,
So
yeah.
let's do that for another thing. That's a great question too.
We'll put a pin on that.
Yeah.
All right, and I'll give it back to you, Ha, and just keep those questions coming. I'll take a look.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you,
All right.
Josh.
Of course.
Okay. So what we have actually the ingredients. Let me see if I can put it up here that you guys can see. So next to the rice, see this is the rice that I already made. I think you can see the camera is trying to focus into it for you. And I pan fried this so that it is crunchy, kind of a little bit of crunchy. It's already breaking apart, so that gives you a little bit of a texture when it's cooking later on. Okay, so we're gonna use that, and then we're gonna have onion as well. So the onion, okay, I have a little bit. This is optional. You don't have to. Usually, I don't really add onion, but the onion add a little bit of sweetness to it. Okay, and then ginger. I usually add the ginger, but not much. Just a few slices, a small amount of ginger. So right now, I'm going to peel this ginger, and I'm going to cut like only a small slice of ginger. Maybe 1 or 2 pieces, and that's all I need. I don't need more than that. So you can see. You can hear the pressure cooking going. It's cooking the chicken. So I peel the skin, as you can see right there. Pretty simple. So the main reason why I cut it this big is because at the end, when we're done, I'm going to take it out and throw it away. I won't be eating it. I'm just using it for flavoring, okay? It gives it a slight spice to it and the flavor, but I don't use too much. This is gives it it complements the chicken broth a lot. So you'll notice the difference when it's not with it. Okay, and in terms of onion, I peel the onion. And same thing, you can eat it with the rice or you don't have to. For the most part, I like mine I just put the whole thing in, and I cook it, and then I take it out. And if I like the onion, I put it on the side for people to eat it. But it will become very soft and gushy, so it's not crunchy anymore. We're just getting the flavor of this and the flavor of this. Okay, onion and ginger. And then in terms of lemon, I cut the lemon. And the lemon, I don't add it to the thing. This is the final product. I squeeze the lemon into my soup after everything is done to give the sour flavor. So I cut it into like small pieces like this. So what I do is I squeeze it into my bowl. Okay. So this is, since I already have it on my cutting board, I'm going to just cut that and get that prepared. So, and then also the cilantro. I cut the cilantro, and you can also add scallions as well. That's another thing. You can add many other things to this, but you can go as simple as just the 4 ingredients that I mentioned, or you can go as complicated as adding intestines and adding chicken body parts and gizzards and all those stuff to it. And there's a lot of things that I can include in the list. If you're interested in that, I can share that with you later on. But right now, for the sake of simplicity and minimalist, we're just doing a few things so that you guys can see whatever in your kitchen that you have could work. Okay, so that's what it looks like right here once I cut it. And then once this is done with the pressure cooking, there's 2 things. If you guys are familiar with pressure cooking, right, you have to depressure. So I'm going to turn this here. So you see the little metal piece right there? It sticks up, okay? It sticks up. That means it's being pressurizing. So when that is sticking up, you cannot open the lid. It won't let you open the lid, okay? So while it's cooking, we have 5 more minutes. It's almost done. So while it's cooking or pressurizing, when it's finished, when the time beeps, that means
Okay, it looks like we might have lost Ha there for a second. I'll try to get her back. But I think she was just saying that you want to make sure you're safe with that pressure cooking knob. You want to make sure that you're not going to release any pressure here. But let me try to get back to her, and we'll be right back in just a second. Hey there, I think it was just had cut out there for a second after you were talking about the pressure knob coming up, the metal knob, and it won't let you open it. That's right where you left off.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the pressure, so that, I'm going to repeat again just in case I may miss something. So that little metal piece right there means that's pressure, okay? So when it goes down, that means it's been depressurized. So you can't open the lid when the pressure is in there. So we have 4 more minutes. When it finishes, there's 2 ways to open the lid. One is to manually depressurize this by turning this little knob. I'm not going to do that yet until it's finished. 2 is allowing to depressurize on its own, and it's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes to depressurize on its own, and that does naturally, and so you don't have to deal with a mess. So that's a natural way. But with the manually, when you pull this little knobby thing, water is going to spew out. So it's going to be everywhere, especially up to your ceiling, because it's going to go straight and you'll hear it. So the key to this for the depressurize is to put a towel on top. So I'm going to, right before I depressurize, I'm going to put a towel on top, and I'm going to turn that thing so all the steam will go straight into the towel. It takes a minute or 2 to finish depressurizing. So that's the lengthy part of it. Now, if you're cooking on a stove, you don't have to worry about all this stuff. But the time is just take a little longer. It's going to take 30 to 40 minutes for the chicken to fall apart, or even longer for the chicken to fall apart. One thing I really like about this is that when I make this, by the time it finishes, when I tear up the chicken, I don't have to use my hand to tear it up. All I have to use is a spoon and a fork, and it just come apart on its own. So that's kind of nice. So it doesn't require a lot of time. If you're cooking this on a regular pot, it'll probably take you several hours. Whereas with this, it'll take you an hour because we're juggling with one thing after the other, so timing. But we can make it even faster by doing both. You can actually do everything in the Instant Pot, or do half of it on the pan and the stove, and the other half, the long part, in the Instant Pot. The short part you can do on the stove. Like doing the rice, with the mixing the rice, you don't need the Instant Pot for that. You can do that on a pan, frying pan, and that's nice and easy. Or boiling the water. You can also boil the water and clean the chicken that way on the stove top as well. So that saves you some time. So you just use the Instant Pot for just the pressurizing. So we have one more pressure, one more minute. And then once this is going to beep, I'm going to show you what's going to happen when we depressurize. Okay, so another thing I wanted to mention, a lot of you may not have fish sauce. Okay, this is fish sauce. Okay, if you have fish sauce, you can use fish sauce. If you have soy sauce, this is soy sauce. Oh, that just finished. Okay, we'll go over the ingredients, the sauces in a little bit. Okay, so you can hear that beep, beep, beep. Okay, I'm going to let it finish beeping. All right, so now we're going to depressurize. So watch out, here it goes. It's going to have the air coming out. Can you see smoke coming out of this? So we're waiting for the natural depressurizing. It's going to take 15 minutes to do so. But we're not going to wait for that. We're going to just manually do it. So this is what I'm doing to depressurize. It's going to take several minutes to, it's very hot. I have to get the steam coming out. Let that be. Okay, so we were talking about the condiments. You can also use soy sauce. This is what I use in my soy sauce. Not this particular one I use is because it doesn't have MSG. Okay, it doesn't matter if you want with MSG, that's fine either way, but that doesn't have MSG in it. The fish sauce, I believe, doesn't have MSG either. It has fish sauce, salt, water, sugar, and vegetable protein, hydrolyzed fructose. Okay, or you can also use salt. I'm putting it over here. Salt. Okay, so this is sea salt I use. All right. In this case, I did not put on the list MSG. You're welcome to if you want to. One thing that I substitute MSG with, instead of MSG, I use sugar. So I use a quarter of a teaspoon of sugar. Just add the interesting about this is sugar and salt balance each other out. So the sugar really enhances the flavor within the dish. But you don't have to add a lot, just slightly. It doesn't make it sweet. It just enhances the flavor. So you just add a little bit to it. So I'm hearing the pressurizing is calming down now. So I'm going to see if I open it. Ooh, you can hear the bubbling. I can smell it too. Okay, so can you see the silver button? It's now depressed down. So I'm going to turn that back so it won't flow on me. And then I'm going to get another towel. I'm going to open this. Okay, now it's easy. Now you can open it. Okay, so the chicken is pressured. Now, what I do is I'm going to add rice. Okay, let me see what's the best angle that you can see. I'm moving away from, I'm trying to find the best angle that you can see the rice coming in. Oh, you get the bottom. Well, you get the gist of the rice, you know, it's in there. Okay, so I put the rice in here. Okay, and then the next I put the onion. And then I put the ginger. That's it. And then I put it in and I cook for 15 minutes. I push it down and turn. There you go. So that is that on. I'm going to turn this off. I click cancel. And then I click on the button that said porridge. And turn porridge. And I change the time. I click on the left button to 15 minutes. That's all we need is 15 minutes. And we'll let that sit for 15 minutes. On a stove, it'll take you 40 to 60 minutes. Okay? So if you're doing this on the stove, you would put, again, the rice into with the chicken, and you let it sit. And then you would put a lid on top, and you turn the flame or your electric stove down to medium low, and then you put a lid on top. And that's the key, is the lid, to keep everything inside and have it stew. And that could be, takes 40 to 60 minutes to get all that, and the rice starts to expand. Okay, so that's the magic of this one. It takes you only 15 minutes to do so. So again, remember to turn off that, close that thing, or else it's going to spew out all over the place. And click the button porridge. Okay, so 15 minutes cooking for that. So while that's going, let me finish up all the ingredients that we're going to add later on. So once this is done, you know, after 15 minutes, we're going to add the flavoring, the condiments. So since I have in my kitchen, I have fish sauce. So I'm going to use fish sauce. If you have soy sauce, you use soy sauce. If you have salt, then you can use salt. Or season, a Lorry seasoning, you can also use that too. Now, in terms of the seasoning of salt, I'm not using a lot of that, so you may want to taste it based on your taste and flavoring. Okay, so right now I'm just going to give you the ingredients for the fish sauce and a little bit of salt and sugar. Okay, so with this, I'm just adding 2 tablespoons of fish sauce, and it's perfect for this pot. Okay, or you can use 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. With the salt, don't put 2 tablespoons of salt alone. If you're using salt only, I would say put like maybe a few teaspoons at a time and see how it tastes for you in flavoring. If you put too much, it's going to be hard to take away. It's easier for you when you add. Okay. And so with the ingredients I'm going to add after this, we're going to add fish sauce, we're going to add salt, and we're going to add a little bit of sugar. And then black pepper, and that's it. 3 things. Fish sauce, sugar, and salt. That's it. I don't know if you can hear all that noise. Okay, so it's pressurizing right now. It's cooking and it's configuring, and it'll take 15 minutes to cook this. Okay. Let me see what else do I need to add. And also, I made something, which is, this is the peanuts. I don't know if you can see that right here. I roast the peanuts, I bought raw peanuts and I roast them and I grind them into little fine grinder in the grinder. And I put this and I sprinkle on top of my jowl or my chicken porch to give it a little bit of crunch, the texture. Okay. So Josh, let's ask some questions before we go further while we're waiting for the pot to go.
Yeah, that sounds great. We had a few from the end of the last one, but remember, just post your questions in the comments and we will get to them as soon as we can. The first question that we had was, is there a place in Orlando that you can buy something called broken rice for com tam? I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah,
Yes.
com tam. Very good.
Yeah, someone was looking for broken rice for that.
Yeah, you can go to any of the grocery store I mentioned. You know, the one on 50. There's a fairground, First Oriental place. They have a huge selection of a lot of things. They have so the gum thumb, they come with like a 5-pound bag, so you can use that. Or the other two stores that I mentioned earlier, they would have it too.
Yeah, and there was a big list of them also in the comments if you didn't get a chance to see them. So you can look up in that. A lot of people are suggesting different their favorite Asian
great.
market.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was cool. We also had someone ask if you had a restaurant or somewhere where someone could get something that you've created, made. Where's the best place to try your food?
I do cater, but that is kind of like on the side thing. I do not have a restaurant. There is a Pho Queen restaurant in Tampa, I found out.
Oh.
They're a few years old. Yeah. But no, I do not have a restaurant. That is something I've been really contemplating, but I haven't really taken that on.
Yeah, it's definitely a big step.
Yeah.
Someone's really excited to try out the food. We also had another question about it was kind of answered in the comments, but I think we could like circle back to it a little bit. When you were rinsing the rice beforehand to remove the starch, you did do that at the beginning, yeah. What's the reasoning behind that?
Well, that sometimes when you buy the rice, good question by the way, it has other things that's in there you don't know, like rocks. Sometimes you find rocks in there. Things just come into there, dirt, and you just cleaning it out, and you clean the starch as well. And then sometimes you find bugs in there, unfortunately.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
No one wants that. So yeah, definitely rinsing your rice is probably not a bad idea. We also had a question on difference between cooking rice in like a conventional rice cooker versus the Instant Pot. Which do you prefer, and any real difference between them? Or
excellent question. I love that one because I experimented with that one. Right, I have a rice cooker which is like maybe 20 years old now, and it's still working, but it's having issues. Right.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, okay, time to retire this rice cooker and try something else. And that's how I bumped into the Instant Pot. So I said, oh, Instant Pot rice cooking button. Woo! It's not the same. Okay, I tested out. No, it's not as efficient and easy as a rice cooker that you just do. And I compare between the two. When I cook with the rice cooker, the rice seems to be fluffier and lighter. And it works much, because it's only focusing on that. With this, the rice is denser, stickier, and it's wetter. So it's not the same.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've not known that.
Yeah, but it does make rice, so you can make rice with it for sure.
So yeah, this one might just it still does the rice cooking, but it's just not exactly the same. And you might get some better ideas. If we have any more questions, feel free to post those in the comments. I'm keeping an eye on them, just checking it out. Is that your for me personally, the fish sauce that you're using? Is that your normal brand that you pick up everywhere, or is that just that's just like the standard?
That's my normal brand. I have there's another one that's more expensive. and it has
Okay.
different quality. The more expensive it is, the higher quality it is.
Okay. So you use one for like cooking and one for like dipping or something like that, or just
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
gotcha,
The higher quality, you want to eat it raw. So the lower quality, you can do everything. Now,
gotcha.
the one that I use that I am using can do both. It's high enough, but not, that very high. So it's
Right.
reasonable in price, but it's not very expensive.
Okay.
Um, so you can do, it tastes good raw as well as cooking.
Great. Did someone talked about the rice cooker versus the instant pot debate? That she found that it was the instant pot was better for brown rice, but the rice cooker she found was better for white rice. At least in her experience. Have you used both, or do you normally eat brown rice or anything like that, or do you more?
No, I am so bad. I want to eat more brown rice. It's good for you, but I prefer white rice. Um,
Yeah, they're.
I actually do have a really good brown rice recipe
Oh, okay,
that I can share. I have to put one together to share.
okay,
Um, and I also, for those of you who are comparing Instant Pot, Rice Maker, and stuff, I do have an article on my website talking about just that with the rice cooker and the Instant Pot. So you can do, get up and read about it and what I found in my research about that. But there is the brown rice, she's right in terms of the Instant Pot because it has ability to pressure cook. So
oh,
the pressure cooking it helps with the brown rice breaking it up further because the brown rice by nature it's harder and you have to soak it overnight and everything to make it softer so that you can eat. That's why it's good for you because your body has to process harder. Where white rice is like sugar; it just goes directly into your body.
cool.
So,
Yeah, no, I definitely. Yeah, that there is I guess a place kind of for both of them. Like you were saying, I think that yeah, the debate is up there, and I really do like. There's nothing that really beats like really good jasmine rice, so it's kind of hard
I
to.
know I'm biased.
Yeah.
Once you're used to it, it's hard to go the other way.
Um, we had one more person asking about other than the summer rolls that you make at home or the spring rolls. Where do you go to get the best, your favorite ones in Orlando? Do you have a place you'd shout out?
For spring rolls
Oh,
or summer rolls,
yeah, for the summer rolls, yes.
um, truthfully, I do not usually go out anywhere to buy summer rolls unless I'm there, so I don't compare. And when
Gotcha.
I get hungry, I just get it. But but the summer rolls usually I don't search for. I don't know. I don't know if that
No,
helps
that makes
answer.
sense. I've been to quite a few of your summer roll classes, and I don't know why you would go out for them because they are fantastic. So, yeah, like I said, Ha does work with us quite often. So definitely keep your eye out. She'll be once we open back up, you'll be able to get a chance to come in and hopefully try some of her food. Like I said, those summer roll classes and spring roll classes, you get to actually roll your own, and they're fantastic. Uh,
Hmm.
so definitely check that out. Yeah, let's see here. Do we have any other questions? Oh, we had someone else asking about what's cooking, but someone else in the comments took care of that and answered the
Yeah, well,
question. So,
this is a great community. You guys
yeah.
are fantastic. You know a lot of answers. You guys are Asian cooking savvy.
I think we're all really liking it. So yeah, if you have anything else, please feel free to ask. Ha, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
Well,
So
I
right
can
now?
add with the summer roll question. The summer roll, the key is not about the summer roll itself, it's the sauce. If
Yes.
you have a good dipping sauce, it enhances it because the summer roll itself, you can have so many different things, and the idea is to not add too much um, flavor into it because it'll fight each other. You want it to be kind of blend so that it'll complement each other to blend in, just like tofu. Tofu, doesn't have really strong flavor. So when you have the tofu, it blends in with all the environment and everything around it. So a lot of things have, all the flavors gets more flavorful, but when you eat it, notice all the different flavors come together. And that's one cool thing about the spring rolls is you can taste the different flavors coming in, like the herbs, the mints, the Thai basils. You can really differentiate between those. And then the little things that you don't notice before. Yeah, pay attention to that. It's really great. And then the sauce makes a big difference.
Yeah. You mentioned the sauce, and I had to go and grab mine.
Oh.
The sauce that you've had in your classes. I use it all the time. Yeah, I use it all the time for like, just everything. Like not only summer rolls, I've used it on tons of different stuff. So it's really good.
It's good for marination too. And that's my own sauce that I made. I made two types. One is I call it monkey, and the other one I call is the dragon. The dragon, as you can guess, it's spicy, and then the monkey is not spicy. So so it's fun.
Definitely the one I like.
We have 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes till the thing is done. So everybody here, here's a question for everyone. Is everyone here pretty experienced with pressure cooking, or is there anyone here that is not a savvy in pressure cooking? Can you, if you're not experienced with it, just type in and say you're not, so that we know. Because I think Instant Pot is becoming very popular these days too. So a lot of people have it.
Yeah, it's definitely a good way to get into it. I haven't actually gotten to use one too much myself, but I'll looking at the comments, seeing if how many people, if we have a consensus among the audiences.
Yeah. Well, here's something interesting. Okay, this is from the statistics from my house. Okay, ever since I have the Instant Pot, my kids are into cooking now.
Really?
Yes, my teenagers.
Oh, that's cool.
My teacher. My daughter, she's already made several Instant Pot dishes, and she's exploring vegetarian, and we're meat eaters. So we're like, she's like, vegetarian, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to put this in. So I said, well, why don't you pick a night that you want to, and you can make a vegetarian dish. So all of us will join you. So she's been doing vegetarian dish, and she looked online for Instant Pot recipes, and it's been working really nice. She's doing a great job. She just follow that, and everything goes into the pot, and it makes it a lot easier.
Oh yeah, it seems it's a really cool appliance. I've just started with one. Like some of the people here, we have a few people just say that they're a couple of people who are new, a couple of people who have just gotten an Instant Pot and are looking to try to get better at it. And so far, a couple of experienced users actually. It looks like.
Oh, that's great.
Some people trying all the different stuff. So
that's cool.
This person's made pot roast and popcorn in their Instant Pot.
I tried that. I did pot roast. I did briskets last weekend. It turned out really good. I did brisket. I did pot roast. I did pork tenderloin. And all three of them turned out really well because of the Instant Pot pressure cooking. That's kind of cool. Oh, and if I can add one more thing, I have a daughter and a son, right? So my son made his first meal this past Monday with my daughter. So he used the Instant Pot, and he made a chicken flavor soup, kind of Mexican flavor, but it's kind of remind me of this jow also.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, they did a great job. So just to let you know, guys, if he can do it, I think a lot of people can do it too.
Yeah, it's a really neat thing. I didn't know there were different brands. We had someone saying that she has an Instant Pot thing, but it's a different brand, so she has some different.
Different brands. Okay, here's another thing too. I don't know if anybody's experienced with this. Do you have come across the Instant Pot that comes with the Instant Pot and a air fryer all in one?
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. Has
That sounds
anybody
awesome.
have that before? I've seen that. And I'm curious about that. Does anybody know anything about that, or anybody has one like that?
I have like an an air fryer that is also a toaster oven, but
Yeah,
not with the
I've
instant
heard
pot
of
in it.
that, but
I love
there is
that
a
thing.
newer version. I think I've seen it, and it is both a instant
Oh
pot
wow.
and but this one won't do it. It has to be a specialized. Um, I have to look at it again and see. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
probably.
oh, I don't
Maybe have
want
to trade
another
up.
instant pot. I know.
Might
I
to trade
can't
up for a
trade
new
it
model.
in.
Well,
Okay, so
it's
we have
great that you're
one
one
more
minute
minute.
left.
Yeah, one more minute left, and then it'll be finished, and then we'll depressurize it, and then I'll show you the last step, and then we'll be finished with the soup. And
Oh.
then I get to eat it. You guys can't smell it. It smells so good right now.
I wish we were all there right now. We'll come join you for dinner.
I know, Roma to come to you.
Yeah, of course,
Woo!
smell-o-vision really come in handy.
I know. That's where the smelly vision.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be fantastic. Cool. So yeah, is there anything that we need to do right before we're finished out here, or I guess
Okay, so
before
right
you
now it just finished. It just beeped on that. So now I'm going to cover this here, and then I'm going to get the steam out, okay? So hang on. Woo! That's the scariest part. I've done it once without the towel, and it was, I think I was doing the pot roast. And because it's pot roast, it's dark broth, so it was spraying all over the place. And I didn't know to put it on top. And that was bad. So this is a really good thing to do.
Yeah,
Everybody know how to do this, right? You guys are good.
it's a good part.
It's fun. What
Yeah,
the
that's a
only
good.
thing I can think about the instant pot is that if you want to make a big batch, it won't fit everything in a big batch. Like I'm going to experiment with making pho. But whenever I make pho, that's a Vietnamese noodle soup. Whenever I make pho, I always make a big giant pot, a really big, like this big. So this is too small in its place. So I'll have to try a small version. But when I make it, because it takes a long time to stew the bone, so this will take shorter time, but there's not enough space. That's the only negative that I can think of.
See. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a good thing for if you're, just cooking for a family meal at night or something like that, or for two people. It seems like a pretty good two people with
Mhm.
leftovers. You can cook pretty well, but maybe not for the don't break it out for the big party or anything like that.
Exactly. A party, you will need to bake a pot. You gotta make the real thing. Okay, so after this is done, after it's depressurizing, I'm going to add the spice ingredients, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. It takes several minutes to depressurize. This is the longest thing. Or if you want to, you just leave it for 15 minutes and allow it to naturally depressurize and then come back to it. Whichever you're good with. But right now, because sake of time, we're doing this so that way we can have it ready so I can show you the rest of the way.
Very good.
Still going. That little knobby, the silver thing is still high. So when it goes down, that's when we put it down. Can you hear the little thing in the background, the depressurizing noise?
We could hear it a little bit at the begining, I think, but it seems to have gone down.
Right now it's gotten quieter.
It really burnt my ears out. It could be.
So any other question real quick before we continue?
I actually see a few people commenting on there's a lid that you can get for the air fryer for the instant pot to make it into an air fryer.
Oh, really?
Apparently the price is a little high, but it could be something
Just
for
the lid?
yeah, it says $80 just for the lid at Walmart.
Wow.
But so I guess it would be good if you really wanted that part of it, but
Yeah, well,
no,
but is that the cost of the the actual Instant Pot with the fryer? Okay,
I'm 100%.
I don't know either. Here we go. I'm going to check it out. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm getting a spoon.
Pull myself out of here so we can get a little bit bigger.
Rice. Can you see the rice close up? Let me see. What's the best way of it zoomed in? There. See the rice? It expanded and it becomes really, really soft. Okay, so I'm going to remove the onion. And the ginger. If you guys like ginger and eat it, that's fine too. You don't have to take it away. This is all preference and choice. Okay, I can't find the other ginger. It's somewhere in there. That's the main reason why I cut it, slice it, and slice like that. So that way it's easy to take out. Okay, so now I'm going to add fish sauce. I use 2 tablespoons. Okay, is that good right there? 2 tablespoons. Oh, by the way, before I forget, when it turns off, the porch is done, it turns into keep warm. So what I would do is I'm going to click cancel and I'm going to turn saute. Okay, I'm going to let it cook so I can cook the spices in. So I add the fish sauce, 1. You can hear the beeping, 2. Okay. And then I add just a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I add a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. This sugar is just to complement the salt, and it enhances the flavor, not for the sweetness. Okay, so I mix it up. And then if you have pepper and you like to add some pepper, you can add the pepper to it. You can see right here, the rice is going to start to expand even more. Okay, and then I'm going to tear, and I'll show you, I'll put tearing up the, I add some pepper. And when the rice starts to expand, the broth is not going to be as watery. It'll get thicker. Okay, so I'm using my chopstick and a spoon, and I start to, I don't know if you can see the meat, it's falling apart as I touch it. So I'm tearing the chicken into small pieces with the spoon and the chopstick. So it's into small bites, you know, as small as possible. I found a little bit of onion residue. If you like onion, you can eat onion too. But so the chicken I use is actually 2 pieces of chicken breast. Okay, between 1 to 2 pounds. So about 2 pounds is good. And when you do, as I mentioned earlier, when you pressure cook the chicken, it depends on how many pounds of chicken you use. If you use more than that, then you increase the amount. When you get an Instant Pot, it comes with a little cooking timetable. that looks like this. Okay, and you look for the chicken or whatever meat that you use, and it will have suggestions on. Let me see if I can find it. Suggestion on the meat, on how many minutes. Your chicken breast. On my finger. Let me see. Chicken breast. Can you see that? And it suggested for a pound is how many minutes. Can you read it, Josh? I don't know if you can.
It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
The actual writing on it, but yeah, just make sure you follow that guy.
That's the idea. So that's the way you do. Thank you, Josh. That's the way you figure out how long you should pressurize your chicken if you have more than 2 pounds. Okay. Of course, the more chicken you have, the sweeter in flavor, the more flavor that you have of the broth of the chicken of this dish. So I'm continuing to tear up this little meat, but it's falling apart, and it's much easier than having to when you cook it on the stove. When I cook it on the stove, it doesn't fall apart like this. You have to simmer really, really long time before it falls apart like this. Can you see it okay from the camera with the chicken?
Yeah, you can see the texture quite well. Just like it's like all shredded up, and it looks like it's been cooking for hours.
Yeah. So, and this is only in 15 minutes.
Wow.
Because of the pressure cooking, which is kind of cool.
That's awesome. I'm gonna definitely have to use this.
Yep. And I don't know if you noticed the juice has evaporated some, so the rice has thickened.
Could you
Go ahead. What are you
maybe scoot the pot over a little bit to the left, just so we can see a little bit more? That's better. Here, I'll bring that one up really. So
I'm putting my saute to low because it's getting hot, so you can see. And I traded a bigger chopstick, a longer chopstick, so it doesn't get hot. My hand gets pretty hot in there. So, and I used both the spoon and I shred up the chicken. And just pay attention to your pot. When it gets too hot, you don't want it too hot because the rice will burn to the bottom of the pan. You got to mix it up. Make sure to mix it well. The water and the juice and stuff so that
Gotcha.
The rice doesn't get stuck to the bottom of the pan and it will burn the bottom of the pan. One thing the reason why I got Instant Pot to test out to cook the rice cooker is because the pot itself is stainless steel. And I thought to myself, I don't want Teflon because most of the Asian rice cookers are Teflon. And, everybody, studies say about Teflon and it's not good for you and all the chemical and all the stuff. So I think, let's try this because it doesn't have Teflon. And it is stainless steel. I think that's cool. That's another reason why I wanted to try it because it's stainless steel.
Yeah, you can use metal in it.
Yeah, and but because of the stainless steel, rice by nature is very sticky, so it sticks to the thing, so it's not that great. So I came up with a recipe how to make rice in an Instant Pot, so that you don't have to go buy a rice cooker if you don't use rice that often. But if you do, then it's like me. I'll probably have to go buy another rice cooker for myself because I do it every day. But if you don't do it every day, a rice Instant Pot will work well. And so I came up with a recipe how to make the rice so that it will be good for you, so that it won't stick to your pan as much as it would have if you're not careful.
Perfect. Are these on your website?
Yes. I have 2 articles on my website.
All right,
under my blog.
if you don't mind, I'll post that to the chat so people can go check it out.
Yes, please do. And then I'll put the recipe. Give me some time tonight to put up the recipe. You can check tomorrow for the recipe, but give me some time tonight to put it up for you. I've been busy, so I haven't had a chance to put it together. Okay, so as you can see, it's thickened with that a smaller amount of time. So see, the rice has expanded even more. Before it looked liquidy and kind of like, now you can see more rice. I don't know, can you tell?
Yeah, you can definitely see it.
Yeah.
Little.
Okay, so that is it. Now, the next thing is you just turn it off. You pick cancel, and I'm going to pour into the bowl so you can see what it looks like inside of it. Okay, so this is.
Man.
This is the consistency that I like. It's a perfect consistency.
Yeah, that looks fantastic.
There you go. And be careful, don't burn your mouth. And then, so I would add a sprinkle a little bit of, on top with cilantro to make it pretty.
Cilantro.
And you can also add scallions and stuff like that. And then I add a little bit of peanuts. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, isn't it pretty?
I am ready to eat, definitely. I wish this was one of our demonstrations.
Yeah. There you go. We finished the whole thing within an hour time, right? A little bit.
That's awesome.
Here, let me
bring you up here. We can close out. Well, yeah. Thank you so much, Ha. That looks fantastic. I can't wait to. I'll probably end up making that tomorrow once the recipe gets posted, because I have access to an Instant Pot and I'm going to use it. So, yeah, that looks fantastic. So thank you so much, Ha. Hopefully we'll be able to see you soon. Keep posted on the Orange County Library channels. We've got our Facebook will be going live pretty often, Instagram, and also our YouTube channel. And you can keep up with that at ocls.info/classes. Ha, do you have any final words?
No, I'm just going to add the stuff on the comments with my website information as soon as I get the recipes up. But
awesome.
Have fun doing Instant Pot cooking.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ha, and have a great night, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to be the first to find out when we have new fun and informative videos for you. Orange County Library System is your place to learn, grow, connect.